Welcome to The Fall of Lantern Hook walkthrough, brought to you by riftdaily.com. This dungeon is in the bottom of a well in Lantern Hook in Droughtlands, and it has level 44 mobs in it, but we did it at 42/41. We had a 41 healer, 41 assassin, and two 42s, 342s, sorry. And it was pretty easy. A lot of the fights had mechanics, and you really had to understand the mechanics, but once you understood the mechanics, everything was really easy. It might be a bit hard for entry-level groups going in to fully understand the mechanics and have to fight through them, and they might even give up, but I think you're going to have a lot of fun with this, so I would suggest giving it a try at 41 or 42, and it might just give you a run for your money for a little bit. And that's always fun, right? Challenge is always great. This first video is going to be a two-parter. It's going to be a little bit of gameplay and the first boss. The first boss is relatively easy, but I'm just gonna talk and let you watch and explain some things about the instance. It seems relatively easy, I have to admit. Even though the mobs are 44, we're still able to do it with lower DPS, which is kind of interesting. After you get out of the first little area around the well, it really seemed like it was getting a little bit harder and harder and harder, especially with that sentry. It took us a little while to figure out what we were supposed to do with that. By the way, when you see the sentry, you'll see that we had to CC it. And not only that, but it respawns. And it'll always, once attacked or once in aggro radius, it'll always run to spawn mobs from a certain area. And it will also run in an area that mobs, if you haven't killed, already are. So it's usually a good idea to clear out a pack, force it to run down that way, and then kill it before it ends up going past that, because it'll summon its own mobs once it gets to a certain point. Other than that, I really like this dungeon. I feel that it had a lot of good mechanics in it, and I haven't seen the mechanics in a while. Like, I just haven't seen those particular mechanics except for in other games, and it's been quite a while. So it was a nice refresher, and I think you guys are going to very much enjoy the dungeon. The first part, as I said, it's going to be more gameplay, commentary, and a boss fight, but the second part is going to be strictly 2 boss fights, and that's it. Because they have a lot of mechanics, and I feel it's better that you just kind of focus on that. If you want to see a unedited version, just straight gameplay, I'll upload those later. They'll be quite long, but they will have strictly just gameplay from the run. Yeah, we actually crashed twice doing this, and the server went down twice in 2 separate times. We had to replace the person, and it reset us every time. And I tried to fraps this, and I've got like 3 recordings of the first 2 bosses, but then it would always, the server would go down. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I had a lot of fun with this dungeon. I really hope you do too. I would love to hear what you think about the mechanics below. I mean, I play Defiant, and the last real good dungeon that I feel we've had was Iron Tombs. So I really like this dungeon. I want to know what you guys think, though. Anyways, I'll talk to you when the boss fight starts. hello again. We've made it to the first boss. The first boss is called, his name is Rorf, and he has a pet cat named Scary, which is kind of interesting, I guess. The fight is pretty much straightforward. It's a tank and spank with a root, a bleed, and the pet. So basically, the tank has to tank both targets, which isn't hard. The boss does some sort of AoE root, which is dispellable, and that actually makes me think that there has to be some kind of mechanic where we're supposed to do something here, because why would he root for no reason? We're just going to sit here and tank him. But I guess that's just more theory than really the walkthrough. Anyways, and he has one more ability where he makes you bleed until you are fully healed. You'll constantly do damage until they're fully healed. Currently in open beta, that is not working. It'll stay on them for the entire duration. I think it's a duration of about 30 seconds, something like that. And it says that it'll be healed when it's it'll be cured when it's fully healed, and that doesn't happen. You can fully heal a target and it'll stay on there, so just keep that in mind. Don't be pulling out your hair like I was, being like, what am I doing wrong? Yeah. Other than that, it's an embarrassingly easy fight. Just DPS Rorf down first, then DPS down the cat. Don't forget, like my tank did, and it kills me. That's a bad thing. So just tank. You don't even need to dispel the root, and be aware of those bleeds, because they do hurt a bit. That's it. Hope you enjoy the rest of the video, and the next bosses are in part 2.